Good evening, and welcome back to the Shadow Nook. Another one sitting down in the nook today. Let me know if you prefer this format to the previous. Now today we are travelling down south again in England to a place called Dover Castle, which is located in Kent. Dover Castle stands on the white cliffs of Kent, overlooking the English Channel, at its narrowest crossing point, where England is closest to mainland Europe. Because of this position, the castle has long been known as the key to England, acting as the first and last line of defence against invasion. It is one of the largest castles in England. Not just a single fortress, but an entire complex of walls, towers, tunnels and underground chambers. What makes Dover Castle especially unique is that it has been in almost continuous use for over 2,000 years. Each era left physical traces behind, creating layers of history stacked on top of one another. Many believe this long, uninterrupted occupation of the castle is a major reason that the castle is associated with such intense paranormal activity. So the earliest known fortifications of the site date back to the Roman occupation of Britain in the 1st century AD. The Romans recognised the strategic structure of the cliffs and built pharos, or a lighthouse, to guide ships across the channel. One of these Roman lighthouses still stands within the castle grounds, making it one of the oldest surviving Roman structures in Britain. Roman soldiers stationed here would have acted as sentries, watching the sea for approaching vessels. Life for these soldiers was harsh, isolated and dangerous, with long hours spent guarding the cliffs in all weather. It is believed that some of the spirits seen today may date back to this Roman presence, tied to centuries of vigilance and duty. After the Romans withdrew from Britain, the site did not fall into ruin. Saxon rulers reused Roman structures and continued to fortify the hilltop. Dover remained a crucial defensive position throughout the early medieval period. Following the Norman conquest in 1066, William the Conqueror ordered Dover Castle to be strengthened. The castle became a symbol of Norman power and control over England. Its location meant that any foreign invasion would likely be seen first from these walls. The most recognisable feature of Dover Castle is the Great Tower, constructed during the reign of King Henry II in the 12th century. The tower served as both a royal palace and a military stronghold. Inside, it housed living quarters, storage rooms, and spaces for administration and defence. The castle became a hub of medieval life, filled with soldiers, servants, craftsmen, and visiting nobility. During times of conflict, it would have been overcrowded, noisy, and tense. Many believe the emotional energy from centuries of stress, fear, and confinement may still linger within the stone walls. Throughout the Middle Ages, Dover Castle was repeatedly reinforced and modernised. It played a significant role during conflicts such as the Barons' War. Castle was besieged but never successfully taken by force. Defensive walls were thickened, towers raised, and new gatehouses added. Soldiers stationed here could spend months or even years on high alert, anticipating invasion. This constant readiness for war contributed to the atmosphere of anxiety that still seems to cling to the site. Now, as warfare evolved, so did the castle's defences. Extensive tunnels were carved deep into the chalk cliffs beneath the castle. These tunnels were used for storage, troop movement, and later accommodation. Conditions underground were dark, cold, and cramped. Many soldiers lived and worked almost entirely below the surface. The tunnels are now considered some of the most haunted areas of the castle. During the Tudor period, Dover Castle was adapted to withstand cannon fire. Artillery fortifications were added to protect against new forms of attack. The castle remained a military stronghold during times of political and religious upheaval. Soldiers stationed here faced the constant threat of invasion from Catholic Europe. This period added yet another layer of tension, fear, and secrecy to the castle's history. In the late 18th century and early 19th centuries, Britain feared invasion by Napoleon Bonaparte. Dover Castle became a major military headquarters once again. The tunnel network was massively expanded to the house and thousands of troops. Entire underground barracks were created, complete with sleeping quarters and storage areas. Soldiers lived in close quarters, often under immense psychological strain. Deaths from illness, accidents, and exhaustion were not uncommon. During World War II, Dover Castle played a pivotal role in Britain's defence. The tunnels were transformed into a secret command centre. From here, Operation Dynamo, the evacuation of Dunkirk, was coordinated. Vice Admiral Bertram Ramsay oversaw the rescue of more than 300,000 Allied soldiers. The operation saved countless lives, but came at a heavy emotional cost. Many believe the stress and trauma of this period left a lasting imprint on the castle. So, let's move on to some of the ghost stories and spirits at the castle. One of the earliest and most historically rooted hauntings at Dover Castle is that of the Roman soldier of the Pharos, frequently reported near Roman Pharos, one of the oldest standing Roman structures in Britain. Witnesses describe a Roman soldier suddenly appearing, often seeming completely solid at first glance. The figure is said to wear a helmet, a short tunic, and military sandals. Witnesses describe a Roman soldier appearing suddenly, often seeming completely solid at first glance. The figure is said to wear a helmet, short tunic, and military sandals, and may carry a spear or stand at attention. In several reports, the soldier appears to be looking outward towards the sea, as though still on watch. Those who encounter the apparition often report an immediate drop in temperature. The figure usually vanishes abruptly without sound or movement. Many believe this is a residual haunting, replaying centuries of duty and vigilance. Perhaps one of the more unsettling legends associated with Dover Castle is that of the headless drummer boy. He is believed to be the ghost of a young military drummer boy from one of the castle's many wartime periods. According to legend, the boy was killed suddenly possibly during an accident or military engagement. The apparition is described as a small, headless figure, dressed in period military clothing. His presence is often announced by the sound of distant drumming, rather than a visual sighting. The drumming is described as slow, rhythmic, and echoing unnaturally across the grounds. Sightings are traditionally associated with times of unrest or approaching danger. Some believe the spirit is trapped in a loop, endlessly performing his duty. Now, as many of the places we've covered before, this castle also has its own Grey Lady. She is one of the most frequently encountered apparitions within the castle's buildings. She is described as a woman wearing a long grey or pale dress, sometimes with a veil. She is most often seen in quiet corridors or near windows overlooking the sea. The Grey Lady is believed to be the spirit of a woman who waited in vain for a loved one to return from war. Witnesses often describe a profound sense of sadness or longing during encounters. Unlike other hauntings, her presence is described as calm rather than frightening. She usually fades away slowly rather than vanishing suddenly. Perhaps one of the most disturbing and emotionally charged hauntings at Dover Castle is that of the screaming woman of the Napoleonic tunnels. She is reported primarily within the underground tunnels, expanded during the Napoleonic Wars. Visitors and staff have reported hearing sudden, blood-curdling screams. Screams are often described as panicked, desperate, and intensely human. No physical source has ever been found, even when the tunnels are empty. Some believe the screams belong to a woman trapped during a tunnel collapse. Others suggest they may be linked to wartime emergencies or medical treatment underground. The sounds often echo unnaturally, making them difficult to locate. Several hauntings are believed to be directly linked to World War II. Apparitions of uniformed men have been reported in the tunnels used as command centres. These figures are often seen walking with a purpose, as though still engaged in wartime duties. Some witnesses report hearing clipped voices, orders being given, or telephones ringing. A strong smell of cigarette smoke is sometimes reported, despite smoking being banned. These hauntings are often described as residual, replaying moments of intense stress rather than an active spirit. Some shadowy figures are commonly reported within the Great Tower. These shapes are often seen moving along walls or throughout doorways. They appear as darker than dark silhouettes, lacking any clear facial features. Witnesses often report feeling watched or followed, and the figures vanish when approached or directly observed. These encounters are often accompanied by a sense of unease or pressure. Some general unexplained sounds are one of the most common experiences at Dover Castle. Heavy footsteps are heard, echoing along stone corridors and staircases. Some witnesses report the sound of multiple footsteps, as if a group is passing by. Military-style marching has also been heard in areas where no one is present. These sounds often occur late at night or during quiet periods. Many believe these are also residual hauntings from centuries of military operation. Now, certain staff-only areas are associated with physical disturbances. Doors have reportedly been opened or slammed shut on their own. Objects have been found moved or knocked from shelves, and sudden loud bangs are sometimes heard with no visible cause. Activity is often reported after hours, when the castle is quiet. Staff generally describe the phenomena as unsettling rather than frightening. Now, Dover Castle has been the subject of numerous paranormal investigations. Investigators have reported EVP, or electronic voice phenomena, captured in the tunnels. Sudden temperature drops and cold spots are commonly documented, and equipment malfunctions are frequently reported underground in the tunnels. Many investigators describe the atmosphere as emotionally heavy and oppressive. Dover Castle has been continuously occupied for nearly 2,000 years. The site is deeply associated with fear, duty, and survival. Countless individuals lived and died within its walls. Strong emotional events are believed to have left lasting imprints. And the castle's hauntings reflect its long history of vigilance and conflict. Dover Castle stands as both a fortress and a memorial. Its ghosts, whether real or symbolic, seem tied to its unfinished duty. The past feels close here and never fully at rest. For many, Dover Castle is a place where history still watches the sea. Let me know down below if you have ever visited Dover Castle. And if you have, what have you experienced? Have you seen any of these apparitions? Have you been down into the tunnels? Let me know down below. And before you leave, we will do your oracle card reading. As usual, I will draw one card and you can interpret it however you like. We have intuitive, which is the loon. Listen to the song in your soul. Trust your intuition as you have a way of knowing. Emerge from the busy life and seek more solitude. Recognize that you are unique and that you are loved. Let me know down below what this could possibly mean to you. Thank you once again for joining me this evening in the Shadow Nook. Don't forget to collect your subscription on your way out. And sleep well.